craziest reason a man stopped talking to you? Let me go first. I had made a Hinge account because I was like, you know what, forget it. Let me see what's out there. I'm bored. So I made one, and I don't recommend it. 0 out of 10. It was terrible. It was like the worst of the worst on there. But I had matched with this man. He was 38. I like my men older, okay? Just a little older for me. And I'm 28, so it was like a little bit of a gap, but not too much of a gap. That's how I like it. So he wanted to go out for coffee. He was cute. He was fine, actually. Like, giving me grown man, giving me very much provider, giving me very much husband. So when he said he wanted to meet for coffee, I was like, okay, cool. Like, let's go. But I usually like to call people first because I need to see how your voice sounds. Like, we need to talk before we get to the spot, if that makes sense. So we had a conversation. Everything was going cool. He was like, I really like you. Like, you know, you might be 28, but you grown. You act grown. Like, yeah, dude, period. I know. And so we get to talking or whatever. Long story short, we were talking about pet peeves and what we like in relationships. And I said that I don't like a controlling man. Like, I like a man that allows me to be myself, allows me to go out with my friends, because I have lots of homegirls and I like to go out and be out. To which he responded, that's disrespectful. How is that disrespectful? He said it was disrespectful for a woman to go out with her friends when she has a man. So usually I just be like, and then hang up and never talk to him again. But at this point, I don't know why it triggered me. So I went up. I'm like, what the hell do you mean? Like, you expect your girl to not have a life? Like, if you had said you wanted to go out with your homeboys, I'm not finna be like, oh, that's disrespectful. No, you need to go live your life. Like, we're a couple, but we should be able to have our own lives outside of each other. That's where people mess up. Child, long story short, he blocked me. And I ain't heard from him since. All because I said, I want to go out with my homegirl sometimes. Okay.
All right, so I want to tell you guys a quick story time of how I almost got scammed out of $300 just last night. So to make the story short, because it's kind of long, I was selling my iPhone 12 Pro Max. I actually made a TikTok prior to this one that I'm posting. I posted it on Facebook Market. I was selling the phone for $700 because it was practically in brand new condition. I since sold the phone locally, but yeah. So this person hits me up on Facebook Market trying to buy the phone. They asked if I can ship it to whatever state they're in. And I'm like, yeah, I can ship it. I usually just sell locally, but that's fine. I'll ship it to you. No problem. So they were like, okay, how do you receive payment? I said, I could do PayPal. I could do Cash App, Zelle, whatever. They were like, okay, I could sell you the money. I'm like, no problem. So they were like, can you send me your email, name, and phone number? And I was like, sure. I'm thinking that they're asking about this stuff because they want to make sure that they're not going to get scammed. So yeah, I send them my name, my email, my phone number. That's fine because, you know, they're about to sell me $700. I'm sure they want to make sure that their money's going to somebody that they know who it is in case if they go, you know, they're going to get scammed. Fine. Mind you, I've been working in banking for 6 years. I Zelle naturally. Like, I know how Zelle works. So I know what's up with Zelle. But this man literally almost got me. So he goes ahead and Zells me the money, and I get an email from Zelle saying, oh, you know, this person attempted to Zelle you $750. That exceeds your Zelle limit. You need to have this person Zelle you an extra $300 to unblock your account and convert your basic Zelle to a business Zelle. Mind you, I'm in banking, so I'm not putting two and two together. I'm just like, oh, wait. I think he just tried to sell me the money. I don't know. I've never seen this before. I'm gonna actually insert a picture right here of the email that I got from Zelle. And it basically says like, oh, this person sent you $750. We have to block your account because it's exceeding your limits. So have them send you an extra $300 so we can unblock your account, convert it into a business for a Zelle business account, and then you can just send him back his $300. Are you following here? Yeah. Okay. So it wasn't until I'm like going back and forth with him that I'm seeing that he's getting very frustrated, and he's like, okay, can I trust you if I send you the $300? Can you promise you're going to send it right back to me? So I'm like, yeah, I got you. Mind you, I'm not even thinking that doesn't make sense. I'm just like too, you know, deep into the conversation. So I'm not putting two and two together. So I'm like, yeah, that's fine. You can trust me if you want. So I'm telling him, yeah, I can even send you a picture of my license so you can trust who I am in case if you need to, like a dumb. I sent him a picture of my license, like a dumb. But whatever, it is what it is. I have LifeLock on my account, so you know he can't do shit with my ID. But anyway, he sends me the 300, and I get another email from Zelle saying, "Oh, he sent you the 300 now, so we can unblock your account. Just send him back $300 out of your own pocket, so we can release the full 1050." Mind you, I have not received any money into my account. This is Zelle emailing me, basically telling me, we have the 1050 held on for you. Now Zelle him 300 out of your own pocket so we can release the 1050 to you. And that's when I'm like, hold up. The math ain't mathin'. Something told me to go and check the email that I was getting these Zelle emails from. And it was at that moment that I knew that I was gonna get got. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm being scammed. My boyfriend was like, babe, what the frick? This is a scam. Like, this doesn't make any sense. Zelle doesn't email from a Gmail account. And I was like, oh my God. I literally had a blonde moment. Like, it went over my head. Like, I completely I didn't put two and two together. Luckily for me, I was able to be like, oh, hell no. And then I went back to the Facebook conversation to delete the messages of my license that I had sent to him. And he kept blowing up my messenger, because this was through Facebook Messenger. He kept saying, I sent you the money. Zelle me back the $300 right now. Please. Like, I trusted you. Zelle me back the $300. And I'm like, yo, people really out here scamming you. Luckily, I was able to delete the message with my license. Hopefully he didn't take a screenshot, but even if he did, it doesn't really matter. He can't do shit. So I went in to delete my license that I had sent him and to just pretty much block it. When I went back in, he kept sending me messages like, oh, answer me right now, send me the money right now. And that's when I was like, okay, you know, I almost got. Praise this guy here. No, I gave you credit. He did kind of help me like snap out of it and be like, yo, you're being scammed. So luckily I was able to sell my phone to somebody here. I got my $700. All is good, all is well. I'm gonna insert a picture right here of the account that was scamming me pretty much, so you guys watch out, because people are really out here scamming on Facebook Market.
I had to get drug tested to get hired for a job one time, which I was like, okay, you know, I didn't smoke at that time, sure, whatever. Mouth swab test, you know, it takes every bit of saliva out of your mouth. You gotta wait 15 minutes. Did that, guess what, it came back inconclusive. The owners go, hey, and mind you, the owner is a son who's 50 and the dad who's like 80, right? And they're like, we trust you. Go ahead and continue filling out your onboarding paperwork. We're going to go ahead and proceed with everything. And I'm like, okay, cool. 5 minutes later, they come back. You know what? We reconsidered. This is a salaried position. We're going to go ahead and just test you again just to make sure, but you know, we trust you. I'm like, okay, cool. Again, nothing to hide. Take the mouth swab. No saliva left in my mouth at this point. I just regained a little bit of it. Do it again, wait another 10 minutes, they come back, inconclusive. And I'm like, okay. And they're like, you know what? Continue filling out your paperwork. I'm putting in my banking information, all that good stuff. And they come back 5 minutes later and they go, hey, come with us. We're going to go for a ride. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, where are we going? And they're like, we're going to get a urine sample at the clinic. And I'm like, dude, I pissed before I got in here. I might need a bottle of water, and I ain't got no saliva in my mouth, so I can't swallow my own spit, so I need something. And the dad, again, the 80-year-old, is like, looks at the son, like, as if I'm trying to flush my system, you know? And I was like, okay, whatever, you know? And we get to the clinic, and he's talking to me. And mind you, this clinic is in the worst part of the town. There's 30 people in here, and he's talking to me about my benefits, how much I'm going to make, everything about the job in front of everybody. And I'm like, hey, can we just wait for this? The nurse finally calls my name after 20 minutes of this, and the son stands up with me. And I'm like, I turned to him, I was like, are you going to hold it for me? To which some people cackled. There was an audible gasp because everyone can hear what the is going on. And he's like, and the dad goes, sit the down, to his son. And I'm like, go back there. The nurse is kind of laughing. She's like, okay, I'm going to need to see you do your business. And I'm like, don't squint. To which she cackled. I cackled as I'm like trying to force this piss I don't have. I'm spitting everywhere. I farted. So now I'm trapped with this nurse with my fart. And I'm like, this is the worst day of my life. Come back out. They go, hey, you passed. The owners are like, never doubted you. We always trusted you. And I'm like, you. I've been with this company for like 10 years now.